Yes, yes. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another week of this beautiful stream. Y'all know what it is. It's officially 8:30 on a beautiful Wednesday night. It's a little cold, depending on where you at, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful night, man. Wednesday night. And this is Vivid Life TV with yours truly, Alex August. Streaming live right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X. So if you are checking this out, man, make sure you hit us up. Go ahead and drop that in the chat real quick. We're gonna keep this chat up for a little bit, and keep y'all engaged and keep you guys on for a very good show. As you guys know, this is officially my 5th stream in total. I believe my 3rd of the year. So this has been going really good. We've been growing. Things have been going pretty good. So if you're tuned in today and you find that you're already enjoying the stream, or you find some value in what we're talking about today, and I am saying we because I do have a very special guest that kind of popped up last minute. So it's going to be a little bit of a flex show. I have like a skeleton of an outline for today, but nonetheless, we're going to keep it going and keep it rolling. But if you do find value in this, of course, be sure to hit the subscribe button, share this out, hit the subscribe button. Let folks know that you're tuned into Vivid Life TV with Alex August. Subscribe for notifications on videos from my vlog, as well as upcoming streams like this one. And I am actually in a place now where I can start announcing upcoming streams, which I actually really love that. So in the next couple of weeks, we got a lot coming, man. Next week, January 24th, is going to be a very special show with love from Atlas, which is a big announcement for Vivid Life Apparel, releasing that 2024 collection called the Atlas Collection. On January 31st, I got Tampa's very own Ashley Kane. She is coming on. And then on February 21st, a couple of weeks out, we also have Rebecca Desir from the Black Health Commission going to be joining me on stream as well. So dope shows coming up. If you want to, definitely check out those links on the YouTube channel right now, because they are up, and you can set yourself a reminder for when we go live on those dates. So be sure to check that out and just kick it with us, rock it with us, man. I am really happy that we're able to get through as many of these streams as possible. Of course, once you go on that stream channel, you'll see that all of those videos and previous clips are also available on my channel as well. So let me go ahead and bring in my guest real quick for the evening. None other than, ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, my dog, straight out of Tampa, Florida, but now you in the cold, bro.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I thought I would try
the snow ski.
I thought I would try out my life as a, I'm just out here just squatting in people's houses. You know what I mean? We just out here, you know what I'm saying? There's just boxes and stuff behind me. So, I'm in the Matrix.
Bro, it's funny that my bad. Shout out to the Waffle House. It's funny that you would be on this show, and the name of the show is you can't hold the space you can't create.
It is.
This is really interesting. I don't know the correlation yet. I don't know the exact correlation as of yet, but I do know that there's an interesting correlation with that. But yo, how's it been? I know we haven't had a chance to really catch up much, but I do know that you have moved to Queens, New York.
Yep. I'm in Queens, New York now. I'm up here living. I'm up here. My aunt's up here and my cousins, And she hit me up and was like, "Hey, you should come up here. I think you'll like it. You know what I'm saying? You're artist. You do all this stuff. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But just come up here, try it out. If you don't like it, then go back." So it was a no stress thing. Anybody that knows me know I work from home, so I am a remote worker, so I could work anywhere anyway.
Yeah.
And honestly, bro, before this was the plan. I was gonna be up here for the summer, and then I was gonna um go to like Thailand or Bali or something. Like I was gonna be a digital nomad. I don't know if anybody knows. Look it up. It's a
Yeah.
big it's a
Yeah.
big thing right now. It's a big thing right now. So
Yeah.
I was just gonna like take the time to travel more and just see the world. As a non-married man with no kids in the professional world, I'm like, let me just see more stuff. But I got up here, bro. No lie.
You ain't leaving. I
Yeah.
mean, it's funny because when you hit me up and you told me that you moved to Queens, like I had no reason to be surprised at all, bro. Like I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
That actually makes sense, and I could totally see that for him. Yeah, I could see that for
Mhm.
him. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, man. Like, and now you've been up there for what? 6 months?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I that was a
Half a
lucky
year.
guess just because I remember the last time I kind of reached
Yeah.
out to you. Last time I was in New York was in end of October, and I
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
I
You
hit
was.
you up. So yeah,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'm definitely fine. But I've heard a lot about the digital nomad thing, and it's
Hmm.
funny that you mentioned not being married, not having kids, because
Yeah, man.
that has been the number one consistent quality among everyone who's doing that. And guys, like
Hmm.
everyone that I know is a digital nomad is a dude who's just
Yeah.
like, hey, it doesn't make sense to pay rent when I can just pay
Yeah.
like long term stay
Long
fee.
term stays. Yeah.
I ain't got no utilities. These utilities are not mine. What is that? Is that still a plan for you?
As of now, no.
Okay.
I haven't. I haven't put roots down,
Mhm.
but I've put like like thumbtacks down. Like
Yeah.
put, so what I'm saying. I'm back in the school, Lord, because I told my grandmother. My grandmother always wanted me to. My nana, she wanted me to get my doctorate my whole
Okay.
life, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that for her and myself, of course. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And and honestly, bro, some relations have popped up since I've been up here, bro. So so
Oh man, dog.
so
I feel you. I feel if
that's
anybody
how it
feel
be.
you, dog. If
That's
anybody
how
feel
it
you,
be.
dog, it's me. It's
So
me.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
man.
hear that. I hear that 100%. And nothing will anchor a man like an anchor. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the
As
hey,
long as you know.
yeah. All right, yo. So for today's show, yo, I got a goal. I have a goal of 19 subscribers.
Okay.
On YouTube. I have a goal for Twitch too, and I know you're more of a Twitch person. Just to let you
Hmm.
know as well, we can funnel in all comments from everywhere. Let me not say all. Our commentary from Twitter, I'm monitoring it, so every now and then I might hop in and like say something if something's in the chat. But
Yeah.
all of our Twitch and YouTube commentary is gonna come in, and you'll actually just be able to see it right then and there. So
Okay.
just a heads, I got to give you the rundown while we're on live. But pretty much, man, we're just gonna kind of run through this for the night and just kind of hang out, bro. So as you
Okay.
know, I love the fact that you mentioned the digital nomad piece. I don't know that a lot of people know this, but I was definitely gonna do that about 2 years ago.
See.
Like
See.
I remember talking to Bright Light and being like, bro, you know what, dog? I mean, like I could just buy an RV, bro, and just that bit only 185. That's about that's the cost of a condo, bro. Like I could just be
Yeah.
anywhere, kid. Like
Anywhere.
how just have an RV? And
Just post it up.
I'm pretty sure he was looking at me crazy. But I was so serious. Like I was like, yo, I could do it. And right around that time is when like the travel nursing thing really started picking up. So long stay Airbnbs kind of went from like a 1800, No, actually, no. Long stay Airbnb went from like 1,400 to like 2,900. And so it kind of like then it started getting higher and higher because the travel nurses basically that's when everybody figured out that like travel nurses were making, you know, $1,500 a week. Not even that.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than that. Yeah, I think it was like a week. They were making like two bands a week. So everyone was like,
but the funny thing is, my aunt, the reason why she got up here is because she took a travel nursing situation, and she loved it so much she never left.
Yeah.
For all that don't know, like my family's deep rooted in Florida, so like 150 years my family's been in Florida, so all of our history is in Florida. So like, you know how people be like, oh, I got family in this state, this state. No, I don't. All of my family's but
Interesting.
yeah, but 150 years, like I put up like pictures of like the starters of the family and stuff like that from the early 1900s that I have. But yeah, bro, like she came up here, she loved it, and but she was making. She tells me all the time she was making like six. She was making 6 bands a week.
6 bands a week?
A week.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I might have like a pet koala if I just had like if I had like I don't think people understand I keep my expenses relatively low. Not that I want to get into that conversation, but I keep my expenses relatively low. So I know what 6 bands a week, even 2 bands a week. I have a lot of disposable income, bro. Like So and when you factor in not having like rent, when you factor in not having all of those like extra things and stuff like that, yeah, bro. Like the digital nomad life, I think it actually has I think it has a bigger appeal with us, with guys, than it does anybody else, to be real with you.
Yeah. We're not as afraid to travel because people aren't. People would be more
and I
hesitant
mean,
to run up on us rather than like a woman.
I think it goes even deeper than that. It's like, you see the commentary and the jokes on Twitter that's just like it's a room and it's a chair and it's a TV, and then like guys can live so simply.
Oh yeah,
like we really can. And so because we can live so simply, like to us it's just like, oh well, then I'm just gonna move to the next place, and then I'm gonna just move
keep
to
going.
the next place. Like
keep going.
You know what I mean? And I mean, we all love our families, which I want to get back to that in a quick second about what you said. We all love our families, but like I think we are less afraid to go a distance from family and then just come back. Like, you know what I mean? So let's talk about that 150 years thing. Because I don't know if you know who Ashley Kane is or Ashley Morrow.
I know the name. I've seen her.
Yeah. I knew who she was before I knew who she was too.
Yeah.
And she's doing this project, the Tampa Black Historians, where she's like going through history, like gathering like records and all that kind of stuff. So I find it very interesting that there's quite a bit of people in Tampa who have that much history in Tampa. You know me, I'm from Miami. My family's from Haiti. So my U.S. storyline
is very short.
It's 1992, and that's it, right? So, like, what do you know about, like, just, I mean, maybe some sprinkles of it. You don't got to go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
But, like, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, Sumter County, Florida. There's a town called Wildwood. Within that town, everybody knows what Wildwood is. Within the Wildwood, there's a place called Royal, Royal. There's only a place that you would know if you were from there. But basically, that's where my family's from. We actually were one of the families to start and settle that town, that area. So, 5 families came and they bought up all of the land, one being my family. And literally for 150 years have just been there. If you ever, Father's Day weekend, there's a celebration called Homecoming.
Yeah.
That's for my family. That's my family celebration.
Really?
Yeah, that's my family celebration.
Bro, I find that like really fascinating, dog. Like that's
Hmm.
I just looked up where Royal is, and I see that it's like it's by the villages, which is
Yep.
woo.
Yeah, I remember when I was a little kid, the villages was nothing. The villages was just old people to the side. You know, you'll go work there if you were a nurse or something. But the villages was nothing when I was little.
Yeah,
Wildwood, when I was growing up, Wildwood was the biggest city in Sumter County because of the truck stop. um, but like I said, the villages done popped off these last like 15 years.
yeah, and
And
it's massive
yeah,
now.
yeah,
It's
it's crazy.
really, it's really,
Crazy,
really
but
big
yeah.
now.
But Royal is everything, man. I deep history there. Like I said, we still own land there. Still own land. But in the 70s, my grandmother took my mom
Hmm.
to Tampa, and so my aunt and me are from Tampa because she moved to Tampa right around the time Tampa was starting this one football team, the
The
Tampa Bay
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. So like literally, my grandmother's been a fan of the Buccaneers since the very beginning, and that's why I'm a big Bucks fan because of my grandmother.
Yeah, hey, that's kind of dope. As
Yeah.
soon as you said 1970, like when you said the 70s, I was like,
Hmm.
that probably explains because the Bucks started in what 76.
Yep. Yep. Same time they started the same around the same time she came. So I think my grandma was a Steelers fan from way back in the day because you know the Steelers was everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that makes sense. That makes
but
sense.
um, but
That's
she said once she took my mama and moved to Tampa, she said once the Bucks started, she just even though they lost all their first games, she said she was like, man, they here, I'm here. I'm just gonna connect. I think it's like a connection of like the change
yeah,
of her life kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. That's dope.
Mhm.
Back
She
in
was
the
at the
Tyrone Stadium, was it called like Tampa Tyrone? No,
yeah the
it was
old
the Tampa
sombrero.
Stadium, and then the Tyrone Mall was across the street, or the
Yeah,
Tyrone.
yeah, yeah. Tampa Stadium. It was called Tampa Stadium.
Yeah, don't ask me why I know that, bro. But you know me, I kind of I be knowing stuff. Yo, it's funny because when I was a jit, when I was young,
Yeah,
I don't remember how, but my dad ended up bringing these. I think they were kind of available everywhere. They had these like tumblers, NFL plastic tumblers
yeah,
that
yeah,
were
yeah,
going
yeah,
around like crazy.
yeah,
And I remember I
yeah.
had a Bucks one when I was young, like probably 5 years old. My brother, I think, ended up taking the Cowboys, and my
Yeah,
other
yeah,
brother
yeah.
took like San
Was it
Francisco 49ers.
was it the cream? Was it the creamsicle one?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
and
those is
it
fire.
had the old pirate logo on it because this is '95, and this
Yeah,
is
those are
also I think the first year Warren Sapp was playing too. So it's like
mhm.
it just ended up being like, okay, yeah, I'm a rock with them, and then of course 7 years later they end up winning the Super Bowl, and history
Yeah,
is and shout
yeah.
out to them for winning against Philly this past week.
Come on, man. And the funny thing again, my grandmother was at the game.
This past game.
My grandmother was at the game.
That's what's up, bro. That is what's up.
She was texting and
Um,
calling me the whole time.
I'm not gonna ask you, but how you think this is gonna how do you think the story ends for this season for the Bucks?
Oh man, look, I'm gonna keep it real. As a Bucks fan, from the time that I've been a Bucks fan, there's two teams I can't stand,
Mm,
and that's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Saints. As as long as we beat the Eagles, everything else don't matter. We playing with house money now, baby. We playing with house money.
nah, man. I don't see. The only thing is, I don't. If it was a divisional round and Tampa Bay was going to the conference, I'd be like, all right, cool. That's cool. That's good to say. But like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
this what is it called? Super wild
Super
wild
wild
card.
card. Yeah,
I don't
we
do a thing like that. And not to
yeah.
mention, Detroit has won one playoff game in 32 years.
Mm-hmm. Never,
I don't
only
think
only NFC team to never be to a Super Bowl. Only NFC team to never be to a Super Bowl. Facts.
you're absolutely right. I was gonna be like, but what about? And I'm like, oh no, those are all NFC teams. And I was gonna be like, what about the Cardinals? I'm like, no, the Cardinals been
The Cardinals have been the two. They didn't win,
Saints,
but they've been the two.
Eagles, Falcons, Dolphins. I mean, not say Saints, Eagles, Falcons, Bucks.
Yeah, Oh yeah.
Cowboys, Redskins have Redskins. People low key forget the Redskins have three. Well, my bad, not the Redskins, but the Washington
The
organization
Commodores. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
has 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. They got
loads
a
of people.
couple. They got a
Yeah.
couple.
So now Tampa Bay's only job is don't let Detroit get their second win in 32 years
Come on, man. Look, man. Look,
in the
somebody got to do it.
same month.
Somebody got to do it sometimes, man. I don't want them to win. I want the Bucks to win, of course, but at the end of the day, man, sometimes that, like the year, like 2002, when the Bucks was going for it, you could kind of feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we went against. I remember we went against the first game we played. We played Terrell Owens and the San Francisco 49ers. I remember that game with Jeff Garcia, and there wasn't nothing they could do with us. You know what I'm saying? Like T.O. got a couple touchdowns, but at the end of the day, there wasn't nothing they could do with us. But so it's like, even if you come across a good team, sometimes it's just a team's year. So it's like Detroit feels like one of those teams where, like, Detroit and the Ravens both kind of got that, like, it's our time. Like,
Yeah, they kind of
ain't
got
nothing stopping
they got
us.
some steam on them. Now,
Yeah.
the Detroit versus San Francisco in a conference game
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
bro,
It's
they
gonna
haven't
go.
played in a championship level game in the playoffs since 1957, I think, if I'm correct.
Jesus.
That was the last time Detroit has been anywhere that far. So pre
Yeah.
Super Bowl era, of course.
I feel
Like,
I feel bad for the Browns, and I feel bad for the Lions, and to a lesser extent the Eagles. But it's like,
yeah, I don't feel
Before Super Bowl time, they
they
was balling.
they had it all.
They was
They were
they
running.
was balling. If you talk about NFL titles, the Detroit Lions, it just go NFL title, NFL title, NFL title, and then it's like Super Bowls. It's like, I mean, you know, we ain't won it yet.
Hey, but you know what? I can tell you why. All things lead back to one thing, bro.
Uh-oh.
Racism. Like, if you really want to be real, bro, like, if you think about it,
Okay.
because I looked this up the other day when I was when Michigan won the national championship. I'm like, yo, they kept saying like, oh, this is the first time they won it since '97. I Googled it. I fell on the Wikipedia page, and I'm like, hey, yo, football started in like the 1860s. Who won the national championship 100 years ago? And you got to remember, football was an Ivy League sport.
Yep.
And you already know there were no Negroes at the Ivy Leagues. There was no Negroes playing football at the Ivy League. You weren't playing that, right? So you got to think about it. Like, in that time, Midwestern teams, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, they're playing, and of course Pennsylvania, Indiana. I think I said Indiana, and they're playing football, and it's just like, oh yeah, like, there we go on third down. Jimmy something is running, and he runs like a 5'1" 40, bro. He runs a 5'1" 40. He's the first round draft pick, bro. Like,
Sullivan.
Think about it. Like, yeah, Jim Sullivan.
Chase Sullivan comes up the middle.
He is the most athletic person on the field right now, and the guy's smoking a cigarette.
He's giving it his all.
Walks out on the field, right? And then you have Jim Brown come, who's like, they could not understand Jim Brown at all. Like,
he was a man. That's what he was.
This doesn't make any sense. So you got to think, like, the reason why Detroit had all of those championships was because eventually the game was starting to change to where it was like, hey, we're also gonna extend out into like Washington. We're gonna start a Washington team. Also, we're gonna get a Los Angeles team as well, and a St. Louis team. And now you're not talking about Ivy League good old boys anymore. You're talking about, like, you got your Midwestern corn-fed white boy, and then you got, like, you start introducing black guys from the Negro League, and then that's when you go into like the NFL, merger.
Yeah,
the Midwest couldn't hang up. It couldn't hang anymore. Detroit, if you think about it, outside of Green Bay, no Midwestern team won the Super Bowl till Chicago in 1985.
That's a good
The game completely changed.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my theory.
Well, I mean, Kansas City, I guess, but I hear you.
Is Kansas City Midwest? I mean,
They
well,
consider they could
that's
they
a stupid
consider
that's a
themselves
stupid question.
Midwestern.
That's a
They
stupid question.
consider
That was a
themselves
stupid question.
Midwest.
But it's not the same as like I don't consider Kansas City the same kind of Midwest as like Chicago. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
it's
Detroit. I got you.
or Detroit. Yeah, it's a little bit further, but you're right. Midwest nonetheless.
Mm.
Man, while we're on that, so you I ain't gonna lie to you, you kind of knocked out my story time, but I always start off the show with a story time.
Okay.
And then we go into the stream. I should say, I keep saying show because you know where I come from, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I always start the stream with a story time, and this is gonna be my question for you, bro. You said you're now working remote. Sounds like it's going pretty good. You've been doing it
Yeah.
for quite a while now. But what is a green flag that you look for in a workplace? Like if you're working a job and you start people, so we all know the red flags, right? They say things like, "Oh, we're all one big family" and things like that. But what are like
Yeah.
green flags in the workplace?
This one gonna go over some people's head,
Okay.
but my brother Isaac, you know Isaac.
Yeah. Shout out to Isaac.
Um, he said his dad told him this, and it always stuck with me. He said, when you get a job, you know they're doing all the like introduction stuff for all the people, and he said, whatever you are, so in my case it'd be a black man.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you do you see? Just just think about your team,
Yep.
think about your supervisors, and then go all the way up.
Go
And
all
how
the way up,
many of you are there?
dude.
And then count how many of somebody else that is. And then somebody else. And he said, if there's a big difference between one and the other, they're looking for something that's not for you. That's not you. You don't belong here.
Mm.
So I look for people that look like me at the Georgia place.
Yeah. I mean
And
that's a really good one though. That one
yeah,
is really solid. Really solid one.
it'll help you understand
Yeah.
the way that your work environment will work.
Because I remember once upon a time I was the highest in the hierarchy of a company I used to work for. I was the highest person, me,
Okay,
and
nice.
I was a team lead.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't even like anything made. I was just team lead, and there was like maybe like 12 of us at one point.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, now I will. I ain't gonna get into it, but I have recently been on a situation like that, and
Yeah.
1 out of 200, bro. Which is crazy. Because this whole what does this ad say on Twitter right here? It says
Yeah.
just demolish DEI, right? This whole new
Mm-hmm.
thing, and it's like it's just crazy. But I'm gonna tell a story about one of the craziest red flags. I'm glad we're gonna talk about green flag, and we're gonna
a work story. I thought we were going to different stories. My bad.
Oh no. I mean, yeah. Usually the story's the story is different, bro. The story is different. It goes different from show to show.
Let's start. Whoa.
Yeah. Nah. That's why I always keep it. Listen, I got to be very. I'm gonna tell a story, but I ain't gonna tell that kind of story.
I'm messing. I'm joking, guys. It's a joke, guys.
It's a joke. But if you're tuned in, I see we got some folks hopping in, man, from Twitter, from Twitch. Drop us show some love in the chat real quick. Let us know where you're tuning in from. But I had a time that I found out that I worked for a broke CEO.
Jesus.
And I'm not like there's levels to broke CEO, but like this was like, oh no. You're broke and broken. Damn it, that's crazy. So this is probably like around like 2017 or so. I probably shouldn't have said the year, but whatever. Just kind of leave it ambiguous. But I get hired by this company, and the green flag that I had was like it was a small company. So like, bro, you're officially on the team, and you're you're already like technically a senior executive. This is what I was told. Like, you're a senior executive. I'm like, all right, cool. Damn, that's kind of cool. Not to mention, another green flag is when you can work like this with the CEO. Like,
Oh
all
yeah,
right,
oh yeah,
oh
oh
shit,
yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
man, so I decide with the CEO, with the boss man. All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like seeing these green flags and stuff. I'm working. I can work with my headphones on. I can
Yeah.
vibe. Then on Fridays, man, they brought a 6-pack of beer. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that as a green flag as well. That's kind of cool. We working on Friday. There's a pool table. You know the whole thing that they usually say, ping pong
Yeah.
table. There's a pool table. You can vibe. You can kick it. You can hang out. All these
Yeah.
things are going good. I start working really well. Things are going really, really, really well. And then the first red flag comes up, and the red flag is I get my first paycheck, and I'm like,
Uh-oh.
"Hey, yo, this what happened?" Actually, no. Before I get my first paycheck, they call a meeting,
Wait.
and they're just like, "Hey, y'all are not gonna get paid on Friday."
Who not?
Right? They're like, "Hey,
Who not get paid?
we're calling this meeting to let you guys know this is a very rare occasion. This has never
Very
happened
rare.
before, but
See,
our
very
paycheck, our
rare and not never happened ain't the same word. I need y'all to
right, I was basically just like, I don't care if it's never happened, bro. It's happening right now. So tell me straight up, like, when am I gonna get my paycheck? So they're like, yo, you're gonna get it next Wednesday, but we're gonna make sure y'all get paid. Like, we're gonna give you like a check. Basically, I think it was like a loan or something like that they just gave it. They got a loan and ended up paying us and then figuring it out. But I was just like, red flag, bro. Like, what you mean payroll ain't go through? That don't make no
payroll.
sense. I never, and why you ain't say that earlier? And so he's like, yo, one of our invoices with a client didn't clear. So I was like, wait a minute.
What that got to do with my check?
I'm like, so you
We live in check to check.
you robbing Peter? Yeah, you live in check to check, bro. You robbing Peter to pay Paul? And I'm like, oh, okay. This don't really. I'm like, yo, this don't really sound right to me. It sounds a little suspect.
How the CEO coming out talking about, hey, y'all, don't cash that till 4 o'clock.
Don't cash that check yet, bro. Listen,
don't cash it till 4.
Hey, I'm gonna give y'all this money, but don't cash it yet, okay? All
Matter
right.
Fact, 415.
So
what?
The next week, he's like, yo, I'm putting you on a special project. I need, such and such. You're gonna talk to this dude. We got, because the team was split between Tampa and like Argentina. I'm working, bro. I'm working hard. I'm doing a good job, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, boom, this man calls me. Like, I remember his office was open and I'm sitting there typing. They got the project to the client. The client shakes hands. Good job. This was really helpful. This is very insightful. I listened in on the call. I was like, all right, I don't speak Spanish, but it sounded like they're pleased. Cool. About an hour later, his door is open. He's like, yo, Alex, come here, bro. And he was like, I'm just gonna let you know right now that I'm letting you go. I'm like,
what after you turn to work in? Oh, so you was already fired. He just needed that work. I got you.
So I was just like, oh, hold up, dog. What's going on? What you mean? So I'm getting like a little livid, like, wait, you gonna fire me after I did the work? Like, that means you never really needed me here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, and by the way, he spent a week out of work one time, and he was like, apparently he went to the desert to meditate. Like, he was one of them like eccentric dudes who like talked about like auras and chakras and all that. Now, nothing wrong with that, but it's sometimes it's a little weird when it comes from people who don't look like us, right?
Oh no! I'm gonna send you to the desert. All right, I'm gonna send you to the desert.
So he goes to the desert, he comes back and all this stuff, and then like as I'm talking to him, I'm like, man, that's fucked up, man. This is under 30 years old me, so I'm like getting passionate. I'm like, yo, this messed up, bro, man. And I'm like, yo, man, that's messed up because you paid me late and I got bills. And that's when he goes, oh, I know, Alex. I got bills too. I got a lot, actually. I'm like, what? And he's like, yo, you see that van outside? He's like, I mean, I've got hard times too. He's like, my wife is basically leaving me. He's like, I didn't go to the desert. I went to go handle my divorce. He's like, we all gotta do what we gotta do. He was like, I live in my car, Alex. And I was like, hey, I went from mad, like,
bro. I've been trying to tell people. Tampa is not a real place. Tampa is not a real place.
Hey, and I just left. Bro. I just left.
The things you got to deal with in Tampa, I'll tell you ain't got to deal with nowhere else.
Bro, I couldn't. And I'm going to be real. The reason why I was like mad, like that was the first time I legitimately got mad. Not because I got fired, but because I was like, how did I end up in a situation where I was working for a dude who lives in a car? Everything about it seemed legit though. So it wasn't like it was a scam. It wasn't a scam. It was just legit. Like this dude who's running a business and the business is running him into the ground and he's just trying to make it float. And I was like, and I'm not making excuses for him, but it was like crazy. Like, yo, you live in your car? What? Oh, I gotta go, bro. Hey man, you have a nice life, bro. You got it. Like, hey man, matter of fact, though, you're gonna pay me for them cigarettes I bought you that one time. Let me get that back. He gave me my money back for the cigarettes I bought him one time that we kept it moving. But that shit was
wait. You going on cigarette runs for the CEO wasn't a sign, my brother. Hey, you know coming up. Hey,
you know what though?
Stop by 7-Eleven, give me some Newports.
At the time, I thought it was like on some like, hey yo, you going on lunch break? Yeah. Hey, while you're out, can you just run and grab me some cigarettes, please? And I was like, all right, he the CEO, he gonna pay me back.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
That's when I found out how much cigarettes was, and I was like, to be honest with you, you broke ass motherfucker, you probably should stop smoking these. They costing you a whole lot more than just your lungs. But yeah, man,
I'm sure they're more.
That was quite a heartbreaking day, but we all live and we learn. So yeah, y'all share in the chat. Let us know what is first off, I feel like I should just go back to what are the worst red flags you ever peeped on a job, because there were no, like, now that I look back on it, bro, there were really no green flags in that situation. Nothing that I thought, like, you buy me beer on Fridays feels very creep. Like, yeah, let me get these boys drunk and then tell them on Wednesday that we don't have paychecks. But yeah, all right.
Yes.
And so first on our docket, yo, I see you're pretty bundled up right now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this weather, yo, because it's been pretty rough in terms of what are you guys sitting at right now in terms of temperatures?
Right now I think we somewhere around 25 degrees, 23.
Snow?
Yeah. We had our first real snow where it like stuck to the ground, because there'd be like snow where it's in the air but it doesn't actually stick.
Mm-hmm.
But we had our first real snow like 2 days ago, and it's still outside. It's still there. The people that came through and pushed the stuff out in the street. So I got videos online of me doing it. It's snowing.
I was gonna ask you about that. Is this your first time seeing snow?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Really?
Most definitely.
Yeah. So you kind of had that. I saw that twinkle in your eye, and I was just like, "Hey, bro, is that your first time?"
Oh yeah, man. I'm embracing the wonder. I'm gonna be honest with you. As cold as it is and all that stuff, it really ain't that bad. But New York during the holiday season, like I feel like I was in a rom-com, nigga. It was like, it is magical. It's magical. It is no other way for me to explain it besides that. The things that they do, the displays on just random buildings and just all kind of stuff. Everybody, the lights and man, look, the meetups, everybody drinking. I went to a Kwanzaa bar crawl.
That sounds lit as hell, though. I'm not
It
gonna lie to you. I'm
was.
not gonna cap. That sounds
It
lit.
was. It was. Like I'm just life, my brother. Like I'm living another life now.
Hey man, I love that for you, and I know what it's like to first see that little snow. Like you're like, is this really it? Like, oh, this is really it, and then it just keeps
Hmm.
coming, and you're just like, and I don't care what anybody says. Maybe it's because I'm a winter baby dog, but I am one of those people who thinks 29 degrees is better than 99 degrees. I just happen to be one of those people, dog, and I think that he's like, nah.
I ain't say all that.
I mean, I do. I think if it's warm, you can have a whole lot of drip and be fly in some winter clothes.
Yes. Yes,
99
I can do
degrees,
that.
dog. You sweating through your Ed Hardy, bro. Like you sweating through you sweating through everything you got on. Okay.
that
Like
that 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 fat Albert Fubu Platinum ain't holding up.
exactly. Your Fubu Platinum got some sweat stains on it, bro. You trying to open it up, trying to be cool, but you
Yeah.
can't because you hot. So I'll take the cold. Like right now, it's what did I see the temperature? I think it's 44 degrees right now.
It's 40 in Florida.
44. Yeah. So you already know everyone's going through the routine. You know what the routine is. You wake up, you touch the window,
Yep.
you screenshot your weather app, and then you post it to the story and go, God damn, Florida, chill. Or something of the sort. But we in that little window right now. We're in the 1 week winter right now. So
Yeah. I'll tell people, Florida has 4 seasons. Hot, hot as hell. There's like a breeze in the middle there somewhere. And then we had 2 weeks of winter.
cold. Like real deal cold. Like go get your coat.
Yeah,
Why
go
that
get it.
baby ain't got no coat
Bro,
on? Yeah,
bruh, literally, this is my heavy jacket in Florida.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
when I tell you, I remember when it got to like when it was October, November, and it started getting like 60s, 50s, and started touching the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I had on this coat. I went outside. Weather just disrespected my coat. It felt like I ain't had nothing on. I said, man, let me go back inside, get something else.
You know, I that's the only thing I'll say that I have not experienced yet. I've experienced like Colorado Rockies. Like I was in the Rockies in Denver, and I remember being like 18 degrees, 18 mile per hour gusts of wind. And I'm like, I think I'm good though, because I got my layers on. So ain't nothing's cutting through here. I got some non-Floridian coats
Yes,
in the back of my closet.
yes.
But I've never felt the only place I've ever felt that kind of cold where it's piercing through everything you got is actually here in Tampa. Like
Mhm.
you remember back on them USF days when I used to be down in like the 20s, and specifically that one place on campus, walking to the library next to that garage, that would
Woo,
just blow on you and go
woo.
through you.
You ain't had
I've
no
never
help.
felt that
You
anywhere
ain't
else.
had you ain't had no help.
None.
And honestly, I think the design of that area is why everybody says that area of the campus is haunted. Because it's like you ain't got nothing. It's like
Yeah,
you can hear the ancestors speaking to you. Run,
yeah.
run.
I didn't know anyone thought that part of campus was haunted.
Oh yeah. There's all kind of stories about that, bro. About that part of campus
Really?
being haunted. By the library, yeah, that you know how you walking over there and it's like you just get this weird eerie feeling. It's hard to explain, but it's like it's a lot of USF lore for that area of the campus.
Interesting. I mean, a lot of people don't know that Ybor City's haunted as fuck, actually.
I,
Like, like real deal haunted. You
I
said
wouldn't
you
put it
do?
past it. I wouldn't put it past it.
I mean, when you got Jason Bloom coming to Ybor City to check it out, that should be a pretty decent red flag.
I mean, let's be honest. The most treasured story from Tampa is a pirate coming and raping and pillaging the whole town. Like, let's just be real.
That's very true.
Let's just be real. We
That is
know
very true.
Sylvester. We documentedly know messed up stuff has happened here.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's been I have no doubts that there's been a fire at a cigar factory or two, casualties and such things. Like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
there's tunnels underneath Ybor City that probably have
yeah.
more stories to tell than we care to
Yeah.
admit. So,
This tunnel's underneath USF.
hmm,
I've actually been in them. Like I know they're there.
where at?
So you know, so history lesson real quick. Anybody? University of South Florida. The first residence hall was in the original.
Library.
Um, no, the original student
Co-
center. The first MSC, the first
Okay.
Marshall Center had the original first, but the first residence hall building that they built was what we know as COSO.
Yeah,
It used to be called Alpha, and that's why right across the thing
it's
is
Beta.
Beta.
Yeah.
Beta. So shout out to the old Andros days. Rest in peace. But
Right.
there is an underground tunnel that goes from the elevator in Kosov and you go underneath and it comes up and you'll come up on the elevator in Beta. If you ever are back on campus and get into one of those buildings, I'm not saying break in, but if you look at the elevators, it'll say ground 1, 2, 3, 4, but then there'll be like another button underneath that you need a key to push it.
Yeah. I think I remember that in well, one thing to note, you were an RA
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
I
I was
was.
an OTL. So
Mm-hmm.
I this is why I remember that there was I
Mm-hmm.
never lived in Kosovo. Low key wanted to though.
Yeah, Kosovo, Kosovo.
There was I remember this elevator part you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I
But
went into it, and it looked like Candyman. You seen Candyman, the original Candyman? Remember, he had the hole, and he had the painted picture,
yeah,
and but it was like almost like catacombs that it was going through. It was like old abandoned house looking things. Yeah, it's
yeah.
like that. It's like that. There was somehow there was graffiti underground. How was there graffiti on the walls underground?
Hey,
Who
bro.
who was y'all keeping?
Someone always finds a way. It's just like when you're on the highway, bro, and there's graffiti on the exit sign. Like, who put that up there?
Who
So
like how do you exactly right? But I'm
yeah,
like, who
I
did
never
y'all
doubt
have?
graffiti making its way to somewhere.
Good point. Let them know I was here.
Yeah, like my whole thing
That's
is like you underground, bro. So you inhaling that graffiti for a little minute. Like that smell's gonna stick there for a little
it looked
minute.
like brother.
But
It looked like meth labs.
USF.
Yeah.
Well, you probably know this. USF was a bomb testing location before it was there. Like before the school was there, they used to test bombs for MacDill Air Force Base there.
Makes sense.
Hence why the business building is in the
Mhm.
shape of a bunker.
Ah.
But I also feel like with that thought in mind, it doesn't surprise me that you would have like random tunnels because
Mhm.
there's no real telling, there's no documentation to tell us what was there. Like
Nothing.
that's a lot of space for a bomb testing facility. Like apparently this one old dude when I used to work at Toyota over
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Fletcher, this one
Oh, I remember used to be a car salesman. Whew. Okay.
no, you don't, don't laugh till you cry, bro. That shit was rough. Okay, that shit
No,
was
it's
rough.
just no. It's not because you used to sell cars. Because that's an honest day's work. You wasn't out here in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Black man getting it. But it was just during that time period. I just remember you as a person,
Oh,
and because I know you as a person, it is just like I would see you like put up these posts and you just smiling and you got your little you know say your little button up polo shirt on with the tight with the tight khakis on and you just smiling. Hey guys, come holler at me. And it's like I see you in real life hosting or something or performing or something.
oh yeah,
And you be like, man, fuck this shit, man. I can't stand it. Nigga, man,
yeah.
listen, man,
Sounds about right. Sounds about right, dog. Yep.
You wouldn't even open your mouth wide enough to really talk about it. You just like, man, man, shit, nigga, man, we making it, brother. We making it.
I can go endless. I can go on and on and on and on about the red flags with that job. But it's funny. I was talking to my girl and I was talking to her about like when I used to sell cars and like and one day she was just like, yo, some Sunday. I was like, man, by that time I was already gone. She was like, how long were you there? I was like, oh, I was only there for 4 months. Like, I was there for 4 months, yo. And she was like, you talk about it as if you were there for 3 years. I was like, that's how much time I clocked on that lock. Like
that's how some jobs are though. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for 2 years. That's how much time I was on the lot, but I was there for, just a couple of months, 4 months. But there was this time I picked up this old man and like he told me this was crazy. He was like, he's never been past Fletcher Avenue on Nebraska. Ever. He was like, I don't even know what's down that way. He was like, when I was a kid, we used to ride our bikes to Fletcher, and his mom used to be like, when you get to Fletcher, turn around.
You have to turn back.
Because it was like, he said it was dirt road on the other side. And he said when you got that far on Nebraska, you could hear them testing bombs where USF is. And I'm like, what was Tampa at this? Like, this had to be like, maybe let's call it like 1954 or something like that. Yeah, I'm like, what was Tampa where it ended at Fletcher, dog? That's like nothing. That's like a really small city if you think about it geographically. Yeah. And if you testing bombs out there, that means people can't live you're not living at least 3 miles away from this bomb testing facility, I would assume.
Exactly.
Now I'm gonna get real interested in that. I'm gonna get real interested in that and probably have to.
Now this is the real thing though. If and we're talking from a place of, I'm trying not to talk over the audience's head, because of course I know many people that are listening to this, of course, are going to be people that went to USF with us or knew us from USF or whatever. But the people that didn't go to USF or don't have these memories, you don't know that there's an area called Andros. All of the buildings were Greek lettered, but the buildings themselves were brick prison looking buildings.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard about this, but if USF didn't work out as a school, they were going to turn it into a jail. Facts. If it didn't work out as a school, that was going to be a jail. And that's why those buildings looked the way that they did, because as we know, Florida is cheap. They're not going to rebuild it. Now that we know USF is going to be is a successful school, now you see what they're doing. They're erasing all that history. All that. Yeah, put up these new buildings. Yeah.
But my question with that is there a chance that that's the case with almost every school? Because I've been to FSU's. I've been to FSU's dorm, and their dorms have those same brick with the paint over it. They have that same thing at FSU. I think the only difference, and like you're mentioning, is, nah, bro, I ain't gonna lie, you just dropped something that really got me thinking now. Because I'm thinking about the shape of those buildings. There's no middle staircase. The staircase is always on the end
outside. You have to be on
and then you have to walk down, and then okay, that's a really good one. That's a really good one. I don't know if I want to call that a conspiracy theory, but I will.
No, it's real. It's real. Did you take university experience?
I did not.
Yeah. Do you remember April Sager? She came in later on. She was my supervisor when I was a conference manager on campus. But anyway, she used to teach. You remember Sam. She was Sam's university experience teacher. So when she was in grad school, she taught university, and she was the one that was telling everybody all the real stuff. Because she went to USF too. she was telling everybody the real stuff. So when I worked for her, and she's the one that took us down into those catacombs. When I was working for
Mm.
her, she was like, "I'm telling y'all everything that I know about this school from back in the day." And so, so that's how we ended up doing that. So we can,
That's kind of crazy, bro. Like,
mhm.
um, yeah, I learned that stuff from like the textbook. This is what you need to say, and this is why we do what we do. Like, like those things. After a while, like I learned, like I said, the bunker thing that made sense, and I ended
That's
up being,
nice.
I just ended up figuring all of that out. What's the name of the street in the front of the school?
So my father,
Nah, the street that leads from Fowler into the school. It's like
oh,
something Leroy Collins.
yeah, Lee Collins Boulevard.
I think it's Leroy Collins.
Yeah, I know something about.
Like I found out, and that's another thing that now I really wish you knew who. Yeah, Leroy Collins. Okay, so Leroy Collins was basically one of the governors of Florida who wanted.
Oh,
I feel like somebody did this recently too. Like I guess all of the governors want their names somewhere on college campuses.
that makes sense.
So he was like, yeah, like that new school is getting built. Like I want part of it. Like I want to be part of that. So there's always like these little things that are just like interesting. Like that's crazy. But the jail thing, bro, that is wild. That's
But
really, really
like,
wild.
but we, even though people don't like to give Florida its credit for being southern, but what do all southern states like to do?
Prisons,
Like prison system
jails.
in the south is crazy.
And if you were to put a jail, if you were to put a jail where USF is, that whole area, like the city really would stop at Fowler, at Fletcher.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you're not building. This ain't Tampa. This is not Zoo Tampa. You're not about to just be living with a zoo in your backyard. Your cousin down the street living with a jail in his backyard. No
yeah,
one's gonna move here.
yeah. And then look at the population at Cross Fletcher. You
Now,
see what I'm saying?
this is where my question to you is:
Yeah.
has that area always been that demographic? For those
From
tuning in, Cross Fletcher is down the street from USF, and
yeah,
it is. I'm not gonna say historically because I don't know, but it is very black and it's very Mexican.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah,
two
yeah, yeah.
hoods clashing basically at the same time, kind of like
Mhm.
overlaying over each other. But has it always
Um,
been like that?
I mean, long as I can remember, the only areas where the populations have changed since in my lifetime is um, Wesley Chapel, just because so many people moved there, so like the population became bigger. And then Brandon. I tell people all the time when I was young, Brandon was the upper middle class area. So like when you lived in Brandon when I was young, Brandon or especially like Riverview, all that, like you had to have money. My mom got a $250,000 house when I was in high school in Riverview because it was the good part of town and I didn't have to live in Tilbury Terrace no more. um, she didn't want us out there, you know what I'm saying? She was trying to do like that was what it was. So what happens is when they break down all of the projects
Everybody
and
goes
then
to Riverview.
and when they break down the projects because it's like an opposite thing, like black people were in the inner city and then now white people want to be in the inner city. So they have to push the black people out into the suburbs that the white people used to be in. So they open up section 8 to those areas. And once you open up section 8 to those areas, that's when all those people flooded. This all happened while I was in high school. All those people
Oh
flooded.
wow.
Yeah, because like I said, I lived in Riverview. It was quiet, nice, wholesome area. And then the flood came, and now my sister is getting jumped at the bus stop out of nowhere.
I thought you were talking about like this is like recent within the last like 4 or 5 years.
No, this is when I was in high
This
school. This
it's
is,
happened again. Like it has definitely happened again, bro.
I
Like
believe it. I believe it.
remember matter of fact where you used to stay at when I used to come see you down there. Like not so much like Riverview out. What was that like Prospect Park?
Oh, so Progress Village?
Progress Village, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Progress Village. Like
Yeah,
Progress Village now is like kind of starting to get a little hood. Like
yeah. That's
even as far down as Big Bend. I saw a video of a fight happening in the street, and then like it ended up being a shooting, and everyone in the comments on Instagram were just like, "See, that's what happened when all the hoods meet in the same place." And it's like
yeah, yeah.
it's wild that keeps on happening because number one, Riverview was voted the 33rd best place in the country to move to, and number two, it is a suburb. Well, technically, it's not a suburb. It is, but it's also
It's like a.
unincorporated. It's unincorporated part of the county.
I call it a suburb of a suburb.
Well, yeah, by virtue of what it is and how it's designed, it's definitely a suburb. But like, you could actually just let crime happen out there, and it really kind of wouldn't matter because it's only going to count towards the county crime rate, not the city crime rate.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Which I learned about that I actually learned about that from Cross Fletcher. Like Cross
Mm,
Fletcher is not part of Tampa. Like
hmm.
they redlined it out so that like whenever crime happens there, it just gets counted towards the county and not towards the city.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, look, I tell people all the time, money makes the rules,
Yeah.
even if the rules don't make sense. Perfect example. Where's Top Golf? If you look it up, it says Tampa, Florida. You have to get off the Brandon exit.
Yeah, that's Brandon, bro. Yeah.
It's right next to the Brandon Mall.
They're very strategic about doing that and making that happen.
But the money
In the
come in,
ways that they
and
want to make it happen.
this ain't Brandon no more. This Tampa. I said, wait, hold up. But just
Cap.
last week, this was Brandon.
Cap.
No,
You know what
Tampa no.
words you will not hear in Tampa anymore, bro?
What?
You will not hear University. You will not hear Cross Fletcher. That's now Uptown. You will
I
not
heard about this Midtown and Uptown and stuff now.
you will not hear Carver City. You will not hear West Tampa. You will hear Midtown.
I said
Um,
Midtown.
right. You will not hear Palm River, Claremelle. Those are not terms used in this city anymore.
Huh.
Claremelle,
Huh.
bro. Like
Huh.
Claremelle. Like I'm like,
Huh.
I said it to
Yeah.
somebody. I was like, oh, that's like Claremelle area. And they were like, what are you talking about? Like,
Well, and that's the see PV. A lot of people forget PV, Claremelle, and Palm River. Those are historically black areas. Again, for middle to upper middle class black people that were homeowners all the way back into I think like the 70s. My grandmother owned a house in Claremelle.
mm,
Um, that I grew up in for many years. 70th and Flint was my bus stop. You know what I'm saying? Like these are areas. And Progress Village is named Progress Village because of the professional black people that were in the area that created their own community. So when you start taking away the history of the
names. They're
city,
literally
yeah, you kind of it's a this is the erasure that we talk about, where you come into the city and you don't even have no respect for the people that made the sauce that you're sitting in.
yeah.
But
Like
you're from Miami, so you understand that.
oh, definitely do. 100%, bro. I mean, Miami kind of had it's a little bit different, and it's a little different in Miami, right?
Mhm.
Um, it's definitely happened before. It's happened in South Miami. So for those that don't know, like Bahamians basically built Miami. Like they were the
Mhm.
people who laid down all of the
That's
brick and
different.
mortar to like make things happen. The Flagler train tracks that went through Miami all the way down to the Keys was built by Bahamians. They came here and they did the work. Then they stayed.
Hmm.
And they lived here and they were basically the founding people, 1896, right?
Nice.
And so you have a lot of neighborhoods that in like the South Miami area where they were traditionally black. Overtown, the gentrification in Overtown is crazy right now, and they're just
Mhm.
trying to make it where it's like it's just downtown. Like they're just extending downtown until like eventually Overtown's not gonna be part of it no more. But the other side of that is there's kind of been a reverse portion of it too, where
Okay.
people only say Lil Haiti, right? When you say
Yeah.
Lil Haiti, people know what area that is, but like that, the
Yeah.
name of the actual area is Lemon City.
Okay.
That name, it's like one name became the popularized name, and the other name became like like this is the actual incorporated. And I think the Lemon City thing had something to do with like people actually like selling lemons, picking lemons, or something of the sort. So it's like it's definitely happened in Miami. And then of course it happened maybe the most recently, like 2003, when we are in high
Yeah.
school, with like people don't say Opalaka anymore. Like I say that shit because I'm old school. They
Yeah.
don't say Opalaka anymore. They don't say like the neighborhoods. They don't say like Carroll City, Norwood,
Yeah.
Norland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's just Miami Gardens, right?
Yeah. I be seeing that.
And Miami Gardens is a better name than all of these other neighborhoods that were divided and also kind of hood, like known as hoods. Like Carroll, the idea of like I'm gonna go to Carroll City versus
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'm just going to Miami Gardens real quick. Where is the stadium in Miami? That shit ain't that wasn't Miami Gardens, but now it's Miami Gardens.
Yeah. 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 It
That
is.
kind of
It
it's
is.
definitely that kind of thing. But that's real
Exactly.
that's real interesting. Everything you just said right now is just like hella interesting.
Mhm.
But let's take a quick pivot real quick.
Cool.
I don't know if you've heard, but and what share your thoughts on this, but Best Buy recently announced that they're no longer selling Blu-rays and DVDs.
Yeah.
As of recent, they are the largest seller of physical copies of movies. And it wasn't even like they were like, oh, by this date, we're no longer selling them. Like they announced it and immediately they're gone. I went to Best Buy recently and they're gone, which means it's really low. There's a low chance of anyone owning any movies anymore. Like
Oh yeah.
you could probably go to the pawn shop, but outside of the pawn shop and maybe eBay, there's nowhere to buy physical copies of movies for the most part.
Oh
What's
yeah.
uh what's currently in your DVD collection? Do you have a DVD collection? Do you have a Blu-ray collection?
Look,
What you got?
man. You know what's crazy? It's like I think about the age me and you are, because like you only like 1 year younger than me.
Yeah.
Because you was '08, right? You
Yep.
graduated high school '08. Yeah, I was '07.
Yep.
Yeah. All I think about, man, is how in our lifetime we saw we saw the rise of the internet, we saw the rise of the smartphone, we saw like all this stuff. But the thing is, we grew up before it. So it's
Yeah.
like we knew it. We remember a time before social media. Remember a time before everybody was just looking at their phones all day. And we remember a time where you had to go outside and make friends. Like we remember this, and then we see the kids now, and we just kind of like I look at my little cousins now, and I just look at them like, what is wrong with y'all? But but I said that to say we were even in that we were in college when streaming services started becoming popular.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For those who have a bad memory, let me remind you the term Netflix and chill was a term because you didn't care what movie was on Netflix because Netflix didn't have good movies on it. The purpose of Netflix streaming site was throwaway movies like Tubi. Like
Honestly, yes.
so
Yo,
like
that's a really good point, yo. That's a
Tubi
really
like
good point.
what Tubi is now is what Netflix was when it started. It was just movies you never heard of, and you're like, well,
Movies you didn't care about.
I mean, it's free, so or in the beginning, oh, it's $2. Okay, whatever. Yeah, cool. I'll pay $2 to just watch a whole bunch of movies, and then every once in a while they put Friends, or put
not even.
something.
It was never. You made a really good point that I completely forgot about, bro. Like
Yeah,
you
bro.
on the streaming side, it was like Homeward Bound 3. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
like random
Home
movies.
Home Alone 3.
Home Alone 3 with the other boy who wasn't Macaulay
Yeah.
Culkin.
Yeah.
You
You
just
have
had
the
all of these, and
off-brand movies.
and you just put it on because
Ex- And then that's why it became a Netflix and chill
Netflix
because
and chill. Yeah.
it's low. You just put on the movie and y'all don't care, so y'all gonna do whatever. But I say that to say that's within college. So when I first started college, I used to go to Best Buy, Sam Goody, FYE, and just buy DVDs all the time. Um, so I have a very big DVD collection. I only have them to play them on, but I refuse to get rid of them. I don't know what I just refuse to get rid of them. Man, RIP to the RIP to the CD man, to the DVD man.
Bruh.
Um, they were the ones that kept the community together. You know what I
You
mean?
know what? I'm not gonna lie to you though. Is it possible to be a movie dude like now?
No,
I saw something on TikTok.
no.
The guy basically had a VHS player
Mhm.
connected to his TV, and it was the kind of VHS player where you can record to the VHS. So he basically this dude is recording his movies to VHS and to DVDs. So he's doing the Lord's work. Now, people's appetite for it, I don't even think it's so much of the appetite as much as it is like, where am I going to play that, right?
Yes.
I got a MacBook Air right here to my side. It does not have a CD-ROM. I have a Lenovo ThinkPad right here. It does not have a CD-ROM. I got a PS5 over there. It can only play Blu-rays. Actually, nah, I'm tripping. It don't got a CD-ROM, right? Yeah, it is not. I got the digital PS5. So like,
Oh,
even if I go to the hustle man in front of, Jerk Hut, and he opens his trunk and he got a movie that is not on streaming, by the way. I think you know this movie, you're gonna appreciate this. Waterworld. Waterworld, bro. You have
come back.
not seen Waterworld anywhere. It is not it's not anywhere. You're not gonna see no Waterworld anywhere. And they're not making
Right,
a
right,
remake
right, right,
because of
right,
climate
right,
change.
right.
But yeah, like even if I wanted to cop Waterworld off this man,
Come on,
where am I gonna
come
play
on.
that?
But this is, but I want you to think about this. Like, and this is gonna be my biggest. I know I hit y'all with a lot of conspiracies today. My bad, but this is gonna be my biggest. Get your aluminum foil hats out right now. So I got this theory. Okay, so this is theory I say where it's like I know time travel doesn't exist because if time travel in the future gets created, that means it always exists. Because if you could travel at any point in time, that means time travel always exists,
Yeah.
right? So that's how I was going. Time travel can't exist because if it did, then it always existed. So that's my thing, right? And in that, I say this to to pivot from that. I say this: what if the Mandela effect isn't for now? It's for the future or the past because we're moving in a direction where if everything's digital, tell me what history is. If they can, if there's movies and parts of history and parts of time that can be manipulated because everything is digital,
Yeah.
and we see what AI could do with stuff now. They can take us right here and make it where I'm on the moon and you in a lava pit. They can make
Yeah.
whatever they want it to be. If this is what our realities are, and there's no hard copies of anything or whatever, now we're truly in the matrix because they could delete and create anything for our reality.
Yeah. Yo, I seen that pairs up with this other conspiracy theory too that I saw on TikTok. And I actually believe this wholeheartedly, right? People don't know history enough, right?
Exactly.
So the theory was that there is no such thing as the Mandela effect. It's just people going back to test how much you remember about what existed.
Exactly.
And like they're literally changing things as we go. So like I was talking to my boy the other day and I was like, yo, Statue of Liberty is not on Ellis Island. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, bro, it's not on Ellis Island. Like I've argued with people about this and I was fact checked and it's not on Ellis Island. He was like, what's it on? I was like, it's on Liberty Island, bro. Ain't that crazy? He was like, I've never heard of Liberty Island. I was like, I've never heard of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Who has ever? I've never heard of Liberty Island.
Nope.
But also, Ellis Island literally has a star on it where the Statue of Liberty could sit, like perfectly sit. Now, I'm not saying they moved it overnight, but I'm also saying, what if they did? That's all I'm saying. So yes, like, bro, like Bearstein Bear, like the worst one of all that I kind of hate the most, bro, is the Shazam one. Kablam, Shazam, whatever, with Sinbad, the movie where Sinbad was a pirate or a genie, whatever he was. It's like, bro, you really telling me that movie didn't exist when I seen it? I seen it, bro. Like, you're not gonna gaslight me like this. So yes, I believe that as well, bro, and I think that it's definitely true. And I think it's also unfortunate that like so much, you made a good point, nothing exists in a physical form anymore.
Yeah.
Like you barely own anything. Like I have a movie collection, and I was thinking about this because I have a movie collection. I was like, wait, it's all digital. Like I buy movies on like Google TV.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at any given time, they could just like
Google TV can say we're over. It's done.
Yeah, they could just relinquish my access to that. But also, like nothing has a CD-ROM. Actually, my car has a CD player.
What?
Yeah, my car has a CD
What was
player.
it? What was it built? 95?
Nah, I drive a 2017, and for whatever reason, randomly, it has a CD player.
Mm-hmm.
So
you lucky.
Like something's gonna happen in the world where they're gonna be like, we need a song to play on the CD. And I'm like, I got it.
It's me, guys. It's me.
I was made for this moment.
The aliens sent us a message, but they put it.
Yeah, we need a CD player.
We need a CD player to play the message.
I got one.
They only know our technology from the 90s, so they gave us a CD player.
I got one. Speaking of movies, bro, have you checked out The Book of Clarence?
No, man. I want to see it so bad, bro. I'm hearing nothing but great things, bro.
Man. I gotta tell you.
How was it? Just tell me how it was.
I can only say this much. I listened to James Samuel, that's the director.
Yeah.
Same director as The Harder They Fall. I listened to his Breakfast Club interview. Yeah,
that's
same director.
That's saying something.
So I listened to his Breakfast Club interview, and I'm like, I know you can relate to this because you are the same kind of creative as I am. Both of us are multi-hyphenate, very talented at a number of things we do.
Of course.
And bro,
somebody hire us. Go ahead.
Right, hire us now.
Please.
But it was refreshing to hear how excited he gets about his work.
Yes.
And as he's talking about it, I'm like, damn, I didn't even know he was the director. I just thought this was another Lakeith Stanfield movie, but I'm like, oh, this does make sense. So I want to go see it. Then the day the movie came out, the day before the movie came out, he hosted a Twitter space with Jay-Z. Him and Jay-Z are like this. Him and Jay-Z. And again, you just hear his excitement about this product he made. And he said something that I was just like, all right, if this man is saying this, I'm going to go buy this ticket. I'm going to go watch this movie. He said there has never been a film like this in 136 years of motion picture. Hey, bro, I went and go and seen the movie, and I'm not going to lie to you. There is nothing like this movie in 136 years of motion picture, bro.
I'm a keep it real because all I've heard about it is I know there's a black Jesus in the movie, but what I think is that's all I know. What I think is hilarious is when it comes to films with black people in them, we got so much more room because they've been stifling our stories into funnels of, trauma, 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 slave,
Yep.
slave, slave, uh, hood, 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 to where our genuine artistic, getting in our artistic bags. Like, look what look what P.O. did for horror.
Yeah. Yeah. And basically,
And it's like,
this dude,
it's not,
this dude,
mhm,
he mentioned something of that sort where he was just like, he's like, yo, our like they keep trying to put us into genres. And
yes,
Jay-Z said this too. Like they put us into genres. Like, and he made a really good point. He was like, bruh, if you've ever seen Boys to Men, not Boys to Men,
Boys in the
Boys
Hood,
in the Hood. No, no, I'm sorry, not Boys in the Hood. Menace to Society. I'm
yes,
tripping. Menace to Society. He said, if you take Menace to Society and put it 100 years in the past, it's basically a Western. He said the movie is literally a Western, bro. It's two guys who are you can have them rock like it. Like you don't even have to change anything. All you gotta do is change your name to something that's more contemporary with the times. But he was like, "Yo, that movie." But like, in order for them to say, "Hey, it has a black director and black actors," it has to be in South Central LA in the '90s for you to be like, "Oh, okay." Like I'll care about it. And he was like, "Yo, he's Nigerian." So
okay,
he was talking about like how he grew up watching Ben-Hur and the Moses Exodus story. He was like, I used to watch those movies with my whole family. When he
yeah,
said that, I was like, hell yeah, boy. The whole family used to be in front of the TV watching Ben-Hur and stuff like that. He was like, but when you watch Ben-Hur and Cleopatra and all that, you don't see no black people. And so those two comments put together is basically the Book of Clarence. Like it's so dope how it's just like, ah man, like if you really think about it, black people been black people forever.
which is crazy.
Forever. So like the things we go through, not to say now because we're time's saying, but like the
No, but
character development of a man and what a man goes through now is not really that different.
yes,
It doesn't matter when you put
ain't
him,
nothing,
like what time frame you put
ain't
him in.
nothing new under the sun. It's all
Yeah,
we all going through the same journey of finding ourselves, finding purpose, all that stuff. We're all doing the same thing. We're just doing it in a different setting.
different way. Different, yeah, different setting,
Yeah,
different outfit, just
yeah.
different outfit
That's
on,
all it
different style of
is,
clothes.
bro.
But definitely, I will say this one thing. The only spoiler I got for the movie, dog, is yo, Nights Over Egypt scene
Mhm.
was funny, but like the way that was just done,
Yeah.
it was like, yo, that was dope.
Mm.
Like his genius, I'm gonna call it genius. His genius is just like I don't really like. I'm gonna do kind of like how Jordan Peele. I'm gonna do this thing, and like you can't stop me because you don't know what it is. Like white Hollywood doesn't know what this is
Mm.
because you never even thought about it before
Exactly.
because you're so boxed in. And we're
Exactly.
gonna do it, and we're not gonna care that we're doing it.
Exactly. And that's why, AI could come in, AI could come and write scripts and stuff like that. And
But it can't do.
it can't, the black consciousness is going to be the hardest for it to capture because blackness is such nuanced to where only you know about it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like the smell of yams. It's like you can't explain it to nobody. Just being out, like you can't
I like
explain it.
that.
Is it sweet? Is it thick? Is it suckle? Is it some? You don't. But you know what yams smell like when you're in the room. But could you
Well,
explain it to
yeah,
somebody?
hey, that's a you did that,
You know what I'm
bro. That was
saying?
fire.
That's what blackness is. Is you know it when you smell it, when you see it, when you feel it, when you're around it. There's no way to
Yeah.
duplicate it, and there's no way to monotonize, to make it so the monotony of it. There's no.
Yeah.
It's
And
everything
and
is
and you know what
different.
else too? There are certain things that you can't. There's certain things in that space that you're talking about in terms of like just blackness overall. There's some things that about being black that you can't make digestible. You
Yes.
can't, you can't make it like some of it is just like either you can take it, you can visualize it, and you can see it, and you
Hmm.
accept that. Yeah, man. Like I'm black, and I know that that happens. Or
Hmm.
you're in the audience, you're just like, no, no. You know, like, and it's just like, well, I
Yeah,
can't. That's why, like, you have all of these movies that have, you know, the white savior in it, because there has to be an aspect of the movie where it's digestible, where someone can say, like, oh, okay, you know what, like 12 Years a Slave was definitely bad, but Brad Pitt, you see Brad Pitt in 12 Years a Slave, he wasn't one of them. He was actually good. He wasn't like the rest. So I'm like Brad Pitt. Like, I'm a white savior. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
yeah, there's none of that. There is absolutely none of that.
No.
In
Good.
fact, I'm gonna just say one more spoiler.
Okay.
The way that black characters have been used as a nonsensical comedic relief
Yeah,
or
yeah.
comedic strip,
That's whack.
they did that with a white character.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's
And
beautiful.
it's actually really funny because you'll see who that white character is. I'm not gonna spoil anymore. Y'all gotta go
Okay.
see it. Support the
Please,
black man's movie.
please.
It's rich, it's good, it's funny,
Have you?
it's dope,
Okay.
and
Have
it's
you?
huh?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and it's also it's also like really, it's actually kind of, there's a little bit of an emotional piece to it as well.
It has to be.
Yeah,
It has to be.
it's good.
Okay. Well, I was going
Lakeith,
to ask,
uh-huh.
Is Lakeith getting awards? Let me know.
I was gonna say that, bro. He is getting an award for this movie. He plays himself
It's
twice,
amazing. It's amazing. I love
and
Lakeith so much.
both versions of him, he absolutely killed it. Tiana Taylor did, bro. The whole cast did that thing, bro.
It, look, how much Tiana do we get to Taylor? If you know what I mean.
Do you know whose role? Do you know? Do you know who she plays?
Yes, I do. I read the credits.
Okay. Nothing
That's why
crazy.
I asked. Oh,
Nothing crazy.
okay.
Nothing
It was
crazy.
tasteful. It was tasteful.
Yeah, it was very tasteful.
Okay. Hey,
Nothing
boy, let
crazy,
me tell you, she is single now.
bro.
So
Bro.
I'm just,
Not only is she single, but I saw an article that called her ex-husband, husband, whatever, estranged husband. I was like, estranged? Are you telling me they don't
mm,
even talk anymore? That's crazy.
see,
That's real, real
see,
crazy.
yeah. When your girl become estranged, that wow become strange too, all over the town. Anyway, but no, real quick,
Uh-huh.
I was gonna ask you, did you see the trailer for Not Another Church Movie?
I did. I did. I did.
um,
I don't know how to feel about it.
see, and I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was literally before I watched that, I was thinking, bring back spoof movies. I miss spoof movies so
Yeah.
much because they're there to say that and do the things that the other movies can't do. So they're supposed to like rub you the wrong way a little bit, but
Yeah.
still be funny. Of course, it's you gotta total lie. But I'm glad. But when I saw Vivica and I saw Jamie Foxx and I'm like, wait, Mickey Rourke. I'm like, they got big,
It's a big cast.
big names in this. This ain't like no, you know, Jeffy Jeff down the street that did this. This is
So
like,
you wanna hear something? It's probably not funny, but of all of the spoof movies,
yeah,
I can only name a few that I've seen. You ready?
okay,
Airplane,
gotta love it.
Naked Gun,
Same thing.
Police Academy,
Shout out.
um, Spaceballs,
Yeah.
and Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Okay.
I just never, I never got into them like that when they came out. So like the scary movies,
Yeah. You never
never
watched them?
seen them. Never seen them.
You wild. You wild.
Oh wait, my bad. And don't be a menace to society
And
while
you
drinking.
drinking your
Yeah,
juice in
I've
your
seen
head.
that.
Yeah.
That's like the modern day spoof movie that I've seen, but
Yeah.
I've never seen any of the scary movies.
Oh
So
man.
it's a little distant for me in terms of like I'm pretty sure if you've seen Scary Movie before, you saw this movie and immediately thought of a spoof movie. I watched the trailer and I was just like, what is like I get what the movie is, but like why is this movie going to exist? Like what's going on? And then it dawned on me like, okay, that's what this is. But yes, it's good to see them
You,
back.
you never seen Not Another Teen movie?
Oh my god, yes I have. Actually, yes.
Oh, I'm about
Not
to say
Another
that
Teen
was.
movie is one of the best.
I'm sorry, that was scene. Well, I forgot what black actor was. It was like Omar, one of the black actors walked in. My boy said, "Hey, I'm the black character in this movie. Get out of here." He's like, "Oh shit, my bad."
Yeah.
That's what.
Um
I wait for that part every time. Hey.
it's crazy. That's Chris Evans in that movie.
Yeah, yeah, it is. He plays the weird foreign kid or whatever, like the weird whatever guy. And then they
Yeah.
play the foreign girl who was always naked.
It's crazy.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah,
that movie is
yeah.
A1. Yes. So I have seen that
Yeah,
movie.
another teen
That's
movie.
actually my favorite.
But you didn't watch like the epic movie and the hero flick or
I've
all
never,
those
never.
all those.
You know what? When I found out that the Wayne's brothers were basically stripped of their role on those movies, I'm not gonna lie to you. It made so much sense why I no longer cared for them. Like I would have watched Scary Movie, and but I think after a while, like seeing that they were making so many of them and started pumping them out like that, I was just like,
Yeah,
these don't look as good. So
yeah,
I never got into it.
look. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had Scary Movie 3 on DVD. The most blasphemous thing I could say. I think it's my favorite one. But but you gotta watch Scary Movie 3 with the deleted scenes and the alternate ending. The ending in the regular movie and the ending, the deleted ending, is not like completely different. Because if you remember, there's parts of the movie that were in the trailer but were never in the movie.
Hmm.
The alternate ending has all those parts, and they do a Matrix ending where the dude got to go in there and fight the ring girl on some Matrix type stuff, like in
Yeah,
the Matrix where he's in the city and it's all of the Mr. Smiths and he has to
yeah,
walk by them. They did that scene, and that thing was dope. And Eddie Griffin was Morpheus, and Queen Latifah was the Oracle. Like it was dope. But like I said, don't tell nobody I said that. But that's one of my
yeah.
that's
I apparently I heard Scary Movie 3 is like the most. It's the one that they were no longer on, and so
it's the first one they will know on, bro. But
yeah,
it had a lot of it. It had a lot. That's the one, and that's also the one with um with Cat Williams talk right now. That's the one that had Kevin Hart and Anthony Anderson with their if you ever seen their Brokeback Mountain spoof they did.
oh yeah,
That
yeah,
was from that movie. That
yeah,
was from that movie.
yeah. Yeah, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. I've never seen it, dog. Like, but like you said, it is good to see that spoof movies are back out. I think there's enough content for them to make a quite a bit of spoof movies for a little while. Yo, I was going to just a heads
Mhm.
up. I was going to definitely go into a topic. But seeing as we're kind of running a little tight on time, I want to
Okay.
actually give you the floor, bro, and just kind of dig into a little bit more of like what you got going on and maybe
Oh,
turn this into a little bit of an interview. Yeah, 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 yeah.
oh
A
man,
little bit
go
into the
ahead.
interview.
Okay.
Especially since there's so much to be said about your move out to New York and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I mentioned this earlier where I mentioned that you are also a creative. So just tell people a little bit about what you do,
Okay.
and what Hollow Red is and who Hollow Red is.
Okay. Well, I was born on a Saturday morning, windy night. I don't know, but but for real, hey everybody, Hollow Red. Some of y'all might know me as Ron. It's either you can call me Red, Ron, Hollow. It don't matter. I don't care. It's just a name that people know me by, and I just kind of stuck with the moniker. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about pulling a U and just start going by Ronald Hollins.
Hey, hey.
um, but it's just I don't know. I've just had Hollow Red for so long. Um, but me, I'm an actor. I'm an actor. I've been an actor. I graduated high school with my thespian medallion, believe it or not. And I'm an actor. I make music. I'm a rapper slash singer. I think I rap way better than I sing, but people like my singy songs more than my rappy songs. So there's that as well. But besides that, I like doing visual art. So I like I'm just getting into photography. So I'm taking um, photographs and doing weird edits with them and stuff like that. And besides that, I'm just the overall like I've done some scores for some movies and I've done sound work on movie sets.
Hmm.
So I've been in multiple short films and online series and stuff. Shout out to Tony's Evans. Shout out to Braveware for putting me on 12 a.m. productions. But yeah, so like but biggest things, music, acting. That's my biggest things
And kind of the
that I do.
visual. I definitely put you in the I definitely put you in the category of the visual because I know that if there is a video to be had, you're probably definitely gonna act in it, and then you're also gonna be behind the scenes with it as well. So
Yeah.
I've been around you long enough to know that. What's some of the later you called out some shout outs, but what's the latest project you've been on in terms of like
Oh,
visual? I know there was something I know there was a visual
mhm.
and I can remember it involved a sidewalk and a home. Tell me about that one. Which one was that? Was that the last one?
Yes. The visual. Okay, the last visual I dropped was for the single that myself and my brother Isaac, whose musical moniker is Reckless One. Um, we put out a song called Timeless, and it's not everywhere. It's not on Spotify and all that, but it is on IG, TikTok, and Facebook. So you Google Hollow Red and Timeless. The song is there, but it's not on iTunes and stuff. And this was just kind of like a demo thing. So
Hmm.
I'm like, the way that people consume music. Do people even care if it's on iTunes and YouTube Music anymore? So we're just trying it out. It
Yeah,
eventually will be on the bigger platforms and stuff, but it's like everybody's at IG, everybody's at TikTok, everybody's at Facebook. So we was like, let's just put it out there. People can put it on their stories. I put it on my story from time to time and all
yeah.
that stuff. But that's the biggest one. That's actually a picture I took when I was doing the photography for a wedding in Jamaica, and that was the view from outside of the resort that I was staying on. At nighttime, you know how it is when you out in those countries at nighttime, and they don't have all the extra lights like we have, so it gets dark.
Yeah.
If anybody lives in the country, they know the same thing. So I just took a picture and I um, modified it and just to make it look like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. I agree with what you said. Let's go back to that for a little bit about
Yeah, yeah.
just the way people consume, right? Because
Mhm.
I shot the perfectionist,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And it's like it's funny. No one knew what the perfectionist was. They were just like, "Hey, what? It's a
Yeah.
visual. It looks
Mhm.
appealing. It looks really cool. It's three
Yeah.
black women. It's dope." As they figured out and learned that it was a music video, it was like, okay. And if you look at it, the numbers for Instagram and the numbers for the official video on YouTube
Yep.
don't correlate. Like it
At
doesn't.
all.
And
At
it's
all.
short form this and it's short form that. And I actually have considered the idea of making a music video,
Mm.
but releasing it in 1 minute increments where you can only hear 1 minute of the song at a time, right? I was
Okay.
watching, Stickman, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Little Stickman that's fighting.
Yeah.
I followed the original creator of Stickman on Instagram, and he drops episodes, like a whole 30-minute episode
Of
on
course.
Instagram in 1 minute chunks, bro. I was so far down a rabbit hole. And so it's just like,
Yeah.
as a creator, you want people to go see the full thing, but it's just like we live in this weird space where,
Yeah, man.
do people want to see the full thing? Like,
Long form is the only way people pay attention to long form is if there's drama attached. So yeah, if you have Cat Williams calling out half the industry, yeah, people will sit here and listen to mess for two
to
hours and
2 hours and
45 minutes.
46 minutes. Yeah.
But if it was 2 hours and 45 minutes of, oh yeah, so I got this organization and we help feed the homeless and we trying to get the kids off the streets. And, man, you got about 5 minutes, bro. You got about
All
five.
right. Now, I
You got
mean,
about
let me let
five.
me let me let me ask you that. Let me ask you this: Do you really believe that that is truly how the modern day mind works?
Up to the mind. I don't know if that's how the mind works, but I do know that's how what what this is what algorithms have programmed us to do.
Hmm. Okay.
Algorithms have programmed us to go towards negative things and to ignore good things.
Yeah, and I was gonna go in that direction where it's just like I don't think that's really how people operate. I think that's
No,
how
no.
social media, and that's what this whole show was going to be about. That's literally what my conversation piece was going to be about. You can't create the space that you can't hold the space you can't create. Whereas like
Yes.
we are going through what I honestly want to believe is like a quiet burnout among creatives, right? And if you've experienced this, let me know. Where it's like creating is no longer being it's no longer being done for the sake of a form of art, and it's being done for the sake of like feeding an algorithm, like feeding. It's kind of like taking wood and putting it in the mulch machine. It's like, well, it's on, bro. You gotta keep feeding it. And my question to you is like, how do you personally try to avoid that, and how have you fallen into it first, and how do you try to avoid like creating for the sake of the algorithm versus your art, which I know you're passionate about.
With me, and this is something big thing with me and Reckless One, my brother Isaac. We always say with anything we do, because if anybody that knows, I kind of brought it up, but we're kind of a one-stop shop. So with me and Isaac together, we can do everything from we have people that make beats, but we can record, we can mix, we can master all ourselves. We do everything in-house, everything for ourselves. But I say that to say we and then we both can do visuals and all that kind of stuff. But our thing is if it doesn't feel right, we're not doing
Mm,
it. We're not doing it. So for me, the way that I stop, letting the algorithm run me is I'll stop. If it starts feeling strange or I don't want to do it or, anything like that, I literally just stop. Because at the end of the day, sanity is important.
mm.
Like I so this is I'm giving y'all a lot today. But this is one of the things that I think about all the time is that it's not real. Like social media isn't real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like even how people do all this stuff for money, even though having money is necessary to survive in society. Sometimes I take a step back and go, you do know money isn't real, right?
yeah.
It's only real because our country tells us it's real.
Hmm.
But I couldn't take like if Armageddon happened tomorrow, I couldn't
Money
take
would have
money.
no one. Money would have no value.
Hey, I have this, and you like this isn't. I can't do what gold, silver, or fruits. That's like you don't have nothing like that. No, I have
Yeah.
money though. You know, what I'm saying so. I have to remind myself that this isn't real. So when people say that they're above you or above anybody because they have money, remember what they're saying holds just as much weight as their money does when they die.
Mm-hmm.
None.
Yeah. And I think another thing too, back to the point of like the sanity piece too, is I'm thinking about myself, and
Yeah.
probably the reason why I don't ever get to a point where I can stop. And I'll be honest, the reason why I never get to a point where I stop and say, hey, does this feel good, is because I'm still, and I think this is a millennial thing. I don't create for social media. Like, I'm creating the perfectionist with the thought in mind that I am creating a music video. So it's going to be landscape. Like, and I'm putting all of these like effects in and all this stuff. And then I got to take that product. And this is what I did. I took the product, and when it was time to put it on social media, and maybe this is where I actually was like, no, I was like, I don't like that. Mm-mm. You want, like, I can't fix the frame. Like, oh, you can only put it in land. Oh, well, you should have put it
Yeah.
in vertical. It's like, it's a music video. Like, you can't just take the screen and just shrink it real quick. Just take my landscape video and shrink it. Like, do that. Couldn't do that. And so when I started realizing this, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I
No.
can't create content for social media. I have to put my content that I already create. And this is why I love YouTube so much. Like, I've been hearing a lot about, the mass exit of people and creators on YouTube. And I'm like, but at the end of the day, you can find a video of Alex August on his 22nd birthday tasing himself in the leg at his birthday party. That happened 12
Yeah,
years ago.
you was into some different stuff.
Yeah, dog. I was wilding. I was wilding.
22,
Like, I was wilding
20.
when I was young. You gotta forgive me. But my point is, if you want to create art that has the longevity,
Yeah.
YouTube is the place.
Yeah, I love YouTube.
YouTube,
I love YouTube.
like, it's, come on, man. We have known YouTube since at least 15 years old, and
Mm-hmm.
it's only grown. I've known
Yeah.
Instagram since I was 21, 22, and it is a shithole right now. Like,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to kind of put that out there, where it's like, I know a lot of, and this is one of the things that I've been talking to a lot of creators about lately, and they're like, they're talking, people are talking about burnout. Like, they're tired of trying to create and trying to keep up. And I'm like, dude, you gotta stop trying to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta just kind of do it on your own. Have you found any kind of new sense of joy in creating? I know I see this, I see the shadow of the popper stopper in there. So I know you're right next to a microphone. I don't know if you know, but this is projecting on the wall.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah, yeah.
have you found a new passion, a new drive? Have you hit a new kind of area in your creativity since being in New York in comparison to when you were here in Tampa?
Yeah.
Mm,
Small, long story short, yes. Um, and you know, Florida. Florida is a place where, and this is can be found anywhere, but Florida is a place where flashy. You want to be seen. You want to be seen with the money. It's not enough just to make money. You want to be seen, like you want to come off like you want to make money. Like people, I think people in Florida want to come off like they make money more
mm.
than actually making money.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the front, and this is why anybody that knows Florida, scammers,
Yeah.
especially Tampa and Miami strip clubs, like it's a lot of there's a culture of I got money, here it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, even the don't cars, like even the way that we do everything is about showing you that I'm the man.
Mm.
Up here, it's about the grind. Don't nobody care if you got a $50,000 watch on because you still riding the same subway as the homeless nigga over there sleep.
With a rat on him. Yeah. Yeah.
It's about the grind. Tell me, people want to know Like in Florida, I could date a girl in Florida for months and never discuss what I do for a living. Here, first conversation. So what do you do? Okay, so what's your passion? What's your hobbies? What else are you doing? You in school? You, how many jobs you got? Just one? So you just got a job, go home, and don't do nothing else? Okay, bro. Everybody here in school, two jobs. Everybody's grinding. So
I will definitely say when I came up there for I went up there for a job fair, networking event, conference, whatever you want to call it, called Where
yeah,
Are All the Black People? And the amount of people who were clearly plus 30 plus that were just like, I'm in school, I have a job, and I'm a creative on the side.
yes,
I'm like, why the school? You know, in my mind, I'm like, why the school part though? Like, you just keep it. And they're like, no, I'm not at university. Like, I'm in a program. I'm doing something.
yes,
And it's like, oh,
yes.
so that
Really?
definitely adds up. It's like there's
Yes.
always something to do. And you got to think about it too. Like these schools are not just like, new. This is not New College of Florida. This is not USF. This is like a school where your professor is in the industry.
Yeah,
This is like New York Film and Art School. Your professor is in the industry. So you being in that class is actually like a huge step in terms of like
yeah,
progressing you forward. So yeah, I feel
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like my aunt just came up on me. Because I'm in university school, but my aunt just came up on me on some like little man stuff. She was like, I mean, yeah, okay, going back to get your doctorate and stuff. That sounds cute, but you could be in this program over here for 2 years and you could be making $65 an hour. And she just looked at me like, so what you trying to do?
Yeah,
I'm like, huh?
man. Bro. I'm gonna keep you in my prayers on that doctorate because
Yeah, we gonna see, bro. We
I
gonna
already
see.
know. I
We gonna
already
see,
know,
bro.
bro.
We
I
gonna
mean,
see, bro.
I don't
It's
know by experience, but I know by secondhand
yeah,
experience
yeah.
watching folks go through that. So let's do this. 5 things that you avoid doing as a creative. Like 5 things that you stopped doing as
Hmm.
a creative, 5 things that you don't do as a creative that you feel like is a huge part of what keeps you going, keeps you motivated, keeps you grinding, keeps you kind of on top of your game.
Okay. One is biggest thing I think is to have people around you that's gonna keep it real with you.
Mm,
Um, Especially if you're a creative that creates for people to consume.
mm,
Um, Music, acting, like what I'm saying, art pieces. Like you need people that's gonna be like, I like it, I don't like it, but this is what I think about it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna break it down. Like, hey, what I'm saying? This song, the beat's good. This, maybe that transition, I don't know. It kind of lost me there. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like this, so you can hear what people think when they hear your stuff or
Mhm.
consume whatever it is you make, video making. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah.
Um, that's one. Two. Anytime I'm not feeling creative, I do something completely opposite of what I normally do. Every time.
Mm,
Every time. Just change your habits. Just do because we forget that once you get in the habit of doing something a certain way, it feels safe. So you just always do it.
yeah.
So whenever, especially music, whenever I'm like, I don't got nothing, we put on beats that we would never rap on or never sing on or whatever. We put on beats. We just change genres. We just do whatever,
Yeah.
and we just see what we feel. We just do it literally, not even to put it out, but just to have fun again. And
Yeah.
that's three. Make sure you're having fun. Because if you're not having fun, okay, we all want to make money, but if you're not having fun,
If you're not having fun, it is so hard, bro.
like you burnout, you're gonna stab yourself. uh, number four, number four, take your time. Don't rush. You know, there's always that thing where people go, you know, at 30 years old, Harrison Ford was a carpenter. You know, Vera Wang ain't sell the first whatever until they were 40. You know, it's all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
people, it happens different times for different people. So don't rush it. Don't think, you know, because this person got this or this person got that. It doesn't have anything to do with you. Your story is your story.
Yeah.
Um, and number 5,
Last but not least.
put in the time. Put in the time, man. Put in the time. You can't you can't get great if you don't suck first. Like you have to suck a little. Like it's okay.
You
Even
said
if
if you said suffer or you said suck.
you suck. Like you have to be bad a little bit. It's okay. Like even if you're good for our music people, even if you're a good rapper, a skilled MC, you gotta learn how to rap on a mic. Rapping on a mic to record, rapping on a mic to perform. They're not the same
Two different
thing.
things, bro. Hell yeah.
You have to
Otherwise,
learn how to do these things. And it's okay if it's not, you're not at Madison Square Garden in the beginning. I guarantee it. It's okay. It's okay. Look, hey, what's her name? Little light skinned girl, Ice Spice.
Ice
Look,
Spice.
I remember looking at Ice Spice's first performance after she blew up. My girl looked like a deer in headlights. And every time she just started shaking her butt just to
Just to break it off.
just
Just
to
to
break it.
distract. Just to distract off of. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And so, but now I see her perform, and it's still not very good, but she's better, and I could tell that they're working with her, and that she's getting comfortable, and that she's learning what people are here for. And that's what I appreciate the most when an artist knows this is what people came here to see. So there it is.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I got. So I was creating the same list, and
Okay.
I got 4.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
can't think of
Okay.
my 5. Maybe I'll think of 5 when I finally get to it. But my 5
Okay.
looks like this, right? Number 1, stop waiting on your next opportunity.
Mm. Ooh, Lord.
Um, and this kind of goes. You kind of mentioned this a little bit too. Like we here, we're the 30 and up gang. I think we grew up with a lot of people who blew up, where it was like he was found, such and such
Hmm.
discovered him,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like that doesn't happen anymore, bro. Like
It's not the world
do
we
the
live in.
work, and then when you're done with the work, start selling them. Start selling that shit. It's crazy. I
Hmm.
saw a video of Nick Cannon telling people to stop pitching to businesses and stop like networking. He was like, networking is a waste of time. I'm like, that's crazy coming from Nick fucking Cannon. Like, you have not
Hmm.
discovered. I don't think Nick Cannon has discovered anyone. Like, he's like, oh, the networks and stuff will come calling. But that's neither here. I believe in create the dope stuff that you create, and then like let's get that bitch out. Like, let's start pumping it out.
Hmm.
Number 2 is a big one. I think we all know this one, but like stop comparing yourself to other people,
Yes.
but more importantly, stop letting other people compare you to other people. Like that comparison in my face shit, you got to stop letting people do that.
Oh, oh, you don't like people telling you that you're just like Wale? You don't like that no more?
No, not that kind of bro. That was a crazy ass era, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
There
'cause
was a time. It
I
was a
was
time.
fighting, for my life. I was trying to like, bro, I'm not
It
like
was a
Wale.
time.
I'm not like him. Like, what? You're dressed just like him right now, and I'm like, nah. I'm like, that's my chance, bro. That's my chance. Chill. That's my chance. um,
Oh man.
Number 3 is a huge one that I really believe in now, and this is a huge part of this whole like you can't hold the space you can't create. You cannot hold Instagram because you can't create Instagram. Stop depending on social media. That's crazy for me to say, but like we all need to have our own platforms now. Like it's really to the point where like if you can build a platform, you can build a community. If you can build a community, you have fans. Like followers are not fans because followers might not even see your stuff. You know what I mean? Like we all know
Exactly.
it's like 16% of your people who even see your stuff on social media. So you can post on social media every day and they're gonna like the thing you did yesterday and today. They're not gonna see Alex August tase his leg in his apartment in 2012. They're not gonna see that on Instagram.
Nope. Not no more.
And then my number four is kind of, I'm more on this side, which is like I check the stats, I take my wins. I don't care to go viral. I just care that the numbers continuously grow. I just care about growth. So I don't care about the vanity metrics. I don't care about I don't care about followers when it doesn't matter. I'm trying to get my 1,000 followers on TikTok though, because that matters. 1,000 followers
So you
on
can
TikTok.
go live. Yeah, you gotta
I
go
go
live.
live, bro. Exactly. Yeah. That changes everything. That's a completely different ball game. But like how many followers I have on Instagram,
Don't matter.
not nonsensical. It makes no it doesn't mean anything. And I think my number five is definitely got because mine are more like these are 5 things you should stop doing. I think my number 5 is gonna be more of like stop putting yourself in a genre. I think you made a really good point. When you lose your creativity a little bit, you start playing other beats, you start listening to different genres and stuff like that. I think genres historically were created to be able to create metrics and like lanes to keep us out, right? Because if you think about it, every music genre there is started with black people.
Yes.
So we didn't create the genres. We just said why we were singing the way we were. Oh, why are you singing like that, man? Because I got the blues. I'm sad. Why are you singing like that? Because I'm rocking and rolling, baby. Like, but if I tell you guys now, if I come out now and I got a guitar playing in the background, someone's gonna say that's rock music. I don't listen to rock. Alex shouldn't do rock. I just like his hip hop stuff.
Yeah.
I don't do genres. I got music that I've been working on, you know how it is, bro. I just made it. I don't care what it's called.
Exactly.
When I get to that iTunes store, I'll be confused. Is this hip hop? Is this?
Man, the biggest thing when you making a song and you putting it in the DSPs and you gotta go and it goes genre and you go, oh shoot, how do I want them to categorize me?
Right, bro. Even with books. Even with books, I wrote We Missed the Meeting. I wrote A Boy Bathed in Blood. I put it out. I'm like, maybe I should have looked at this long ass list of genres before I was ready to put the book out. Like, and of course, in African American, they got 3 subcategories: African American, traditional, folklore, fiction. Like, all right, y'all. Okay, but yeah, I say remove yourself from the categories. Even I saw a video. I actually just posted it to my story. So when you get a chance to take a look at this, you mentioned something about this earlier, and I'm glad you did because it goes right along with this. This young lady basically said that the term content creator is a slap in the face. And I was like, nah, she right. I don't like the word content creator because I feel like it doesn't define anything. It's like content creator.
It's a very broad
What does
term.
he do? Oh, he's a streamer, right? You see what the background of this looks like. Basically, what she said is when you call. Hold on, bro. Stop.
They're listening.
Gotta let the machines. But what she basically said is like when you call someone a content creator, you're refusing to acknowledge that they're a videographer, a photographer, an engineer, a producer, a writer, a copywriter, a creative director, you know what I mean? Like you're taking away all of that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, dude, the legwork is crazy. You know how it goes, man. The legwork we gotta do is crazy. Limiting yourself to these terms. No.
bump the legwork, like, because the effort is the effort. The purchases are crazy because I think if you remember historically, you remember how the gold rush when everybody was going out west to try to find gold,
Mm-hmm.
and what did they always say? Basically, almost nobody found gold, but the people that were selling the equipment for the to do the gold work, they came out on top, and
Yep.
that's how I feel right now.
Yep.
That's how I feel. Everybody streaming and creating and doing this video. Everybody who's coming up top is these people that's making these new mics, these people that's making um, these new the old it'll follow you when you do this and you can do
Yeah.
all
You,
this.
you what you got a Yeti snowball?
Yeah, that's a snowball.
See, I got the Yeti blue, right?
Yeah. I was thinking about getting that one.
Do you remember when these dropped? How much they cost?
The blue,
I mean, both
the,
of them, bro. They were
oh
over a
no no
hundred.
no no the snowball when it dropped was crazy.
They were over $150
Yeah,
for these microphones.
it was like oh my god.
And so, and now they're all selling. They're not selling the technology for the mics anymore. You notice how I have this here, right? I don't
Mhm.
need a microphone. My webcam
No,
has a microphone. I
everything
put this
has a
here
microphone.
because it's almost like in the day and age that we are in, you have to do things because you have to do them because you're one of these things. And this is probably the only thing I do, but also this is a very good mic.
It
Last week
is.
I didn't use it and I used just the mic on it. So it was a little, it didn't catch how I wanted to catch. So I'm capping a little bit, but
A little bit.
like they're selling microphones right now completely based on the design of the microphone and how it looks versus what it can actually do.
Because it has to look good on camera.
There's no new technology in microphones. None.
Nope.
Microphones have been microphones since microphones been microphoning.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, oh yeah, well, this is a gamer microphone. It's $185. But the podcast microphone is $200. But the work microphone for a conference call at the office is
Yes.
$96.
Yep.
Why do you think that is? So I agree with you. The purchases, bro. I'm just thinking about how much I've purchased just to do this stream, and I'm cheap. I'm not gonna lie. So I keep it very, very simple. I'm paying
Yeah.
for software. I bought an extra camera because I like to do this right here. Oops.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, a little subtle flex.
Yeah,
Subtle
I
flex.
like to do. I like to do that. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
to. Oh, okay. Let me just change mics. All right, cool. But like outside of that, like I know people who get new chairs, new tables, and it's like if you play that game, you're gonna be like I know people going back to the gold rush because I remember reading Think Rich. What is it? Think Rich, Be Rich.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. What was it? Think
I
Rich,
think
Be
it's that one.
Rich.
Which one starts off with the stories?
Is it Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
I think okay. Let's assume it's that one, right? And he talks about a story where the people did go out west and they did buy the equipment and they kept going and they kept going and they kept going and they gave up
Yeah.
and they sold the equipment to get to break even. And the people who found the gold were the people who went back with the equipment and with
Hmm.
the schematics and with the maps and was like, oh, you searched here? Okay, I'm going to search there too. And those were the people who got the gold. You know how many people start this podcast, stream life, and all that, and they give up because
Yeah.
the game convinced you on some consumerism shit to buy all kinds of stuff, and you can't. You don't
Yeah.
need all that. You
You
just need
don't.
to create your platform. Everyone's convinced of like going viral. It's like, do you have a
Yeah.
community that follows you? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah.
Then you're good.
And and speaking of that, I forgot to bring this up earlier, but you remember I used to have a podcast called Chicken Meat Powder before it was popular, before podcasting was popular. I had a podcast called Chicken Meat Powder, and yeah, I done got the people back together, and we're actually bringing Chicken Meat Powder back in a more modern format because you know now that we got, it's just weird because it's like looking at poor minds and looking at horrible decisions, all these things. And I was like, Wow, we were doing a lot of that stuff years ago. Before I was popping like that. No, we were just
Our generation has suffered what I like to call pioneer syndrome. It's like
yeah,
we were the first to do a lot of things, but
yeah,
we were all ahead of our time,
exactly, exactly.
way ahead of our time. Oh, by the way, you should probably know this, but we recently all went, good knocking.
The
We did a
reunion.
reunion, yeah,
Yeah, that was good.
and
That was dope.
yeah, it's gonna start coming along very very soon.
Yeah,
But I went back to campus and there's no more radio.
I heard. I listen. So I listened to your podcast.
Okay,
Um, blow it out. Blow that shit out.
blow that shit out, yeah, with
Yeah,
Justin.
blow that shit out with Justin. Just cuz 305.
Yeah,
Hold on. Huggy Bear. But yeah, I listened to it and I heard the story that you said about that, and I was like,
they were like, "What are you talking about?" The school, they were like, "Radio?"
they were using your award as a paperweight, wasn't it, or
Yeah,
something like that?
I felt like Loki in the TVA. Like, hey, bro, that's an Infinity Stone. Oh, this is just a paperweight, big dog. We just
Like what? Like
I ain't even read it.
thousands of people died for that.
I'm like, bro,
Oh,
you don't see that shit says best radio 2012. He's like, I've never thought to read this. Wow. I'm like,
yeah, because you said it's like a podcast studio now, right? It's not. They don't even do radio no more.
yeah, there's no radio pieces at all. They can't even the kid couldn't even conceptualize the idea of radio being part of any of this. So I'm like, wow. And so all of the things we were doing back then, you hear people getting celebrated for it now, and it's just like, man, we just were ahead of our time, bro. And it's
Really,
and you got to think
really.
about it too. Shout out to y'all for getting that back, chicken meat powder getting back running, because
Yeah, we
it
getting
is
back
difficult to
to
get
get
back
everybody
into
back.
that rhythm 10 years later,
Yes.
to get back into the creativity, to get back in that bag, to
Yeah.
get back in that pocket where you were 10 years ago, man. That shit is
Mm.
difficult.
That's
So
why
it's
I
just
said we
like,
just good.
I feel like our generation sees these things happening, and it's just like we end up just being the old man shouting at the clouds about like how dope time was back then. And it's like, yo, you either gonna do it again because you can,
Hmm.
or you not. But at the end of the
Yeah,
day, you got to get with the times. Like you just gotta make it work. Gotta make
exactly.
it work, bro.
Exactly.
Gotta make
And,
it work.
and I just think it's one of those things where the technology caught up to the effort. So now we don't have to be in a room together to film a podcast episode together.
Yeah, which
So I
is
think
dope.
that makes it a little easier. We use Discord and we just get on there and we just record. I'm just gonna put them up. I'm just gonna put them up and just keep doing it and just be consistent. Because more than anything, I just want to be consistent.
Yeah,
And the people will find us. The people will find us.
yeah. And since it's already in Discord, y'all can have a chicken meat powder Discord channel or
Exactly.
Discord, whatever, Discord, and then just be
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there. If
Discord.
y'all do that, add me in there. I would gladly be a part of that. I was gonna say something, bro, and I kind of, damn it.
You know how this goes, bro. You know how this goes.
I gotta go back like this. You were mentioning getting everybody together before you mentioned Discord. You said, that's what I was gonna say. You know what I blame for all of that? It's my last point on it. The thing that I blame the podcast era. And I'm gonna tell you why I blame the podcast era. This is something that I picked up on via good knocking. Doing live is extremely difficult, bro. Like it
It
is
is.
very, very difficult. It's very difficult to find the space, to find the time, to dedicate the time. And everyone is not as good as like being on this microphone and being live and talking and engaging for 2 hours and 15 minutes is a skill that a lot of people don't have.
Of course.
When we were doing radio, we were not the only ones doing radio. There were a lot of apps and platforms that were allowing you to go live on your own independent radio.
Yeah.
When people were no longer good at that, that's where podcasts came from. Because I'm not live, it's easy. There's this idea, and I remember when I was doing podcasts, people used to always say it. You've probably heard it before. oh, can y'all just edit that out? Like everything was about like, can you edit that part out? Can you edit that
Yeah.
out? Can you edit that out? And now the people who are streamers either are A, not good at it, but they're bold enough to do it, or B, they're very, very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I rock with, no, I don't. I understand the popularity of Kai Cenat.
Mm-hmm. Me
He has
too.
this like appeal of like recklessness and
Yeah.
how I do what I want kind of thing, right? And he
Yeah.
said it recently, but he doesn't want to admit it. That's very appealing to young boys.
It is.
Very appealing to young boys. Same thing with speed. Very appealing with young boys. So
Yeah.
in our 30-year-old grown man space, people just living life, having healthy conversations that are not about toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Who's doing anything?
Nothing.
No one. No one.
That's why, and that's why we bringing back chicken meat powder.
Let's
Because
get it.
and that's what I'm telling you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Glad I got the exclusive, by the way.
Right. But it's gonna be me, it's gonna be Reckless One, and it's gonna be Dre. And you know how we used to live. And I'm gonna leave it there. But we used to be out here wilding.
Yeah.
And but now, people are parents, people are, in relationships, people have, seen the world. People, so where's that conversation of, hey, in college and in my 20s, we was out here wilding, but now I'm a
Yeah.
new elevated self. Where am I now with that? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? What does that look like? What does that sound like? What are the things I'm going through? And so it's like we're not going to be the old chicken meat powder,
Right.
but but it's just an evolved version of what we was.
For sure, man. For sure. I'm excited to see that. I
Mhm.
definitely want to check that out when you get a chance. And of
Oh
course,
yeah,
bro, if you need any support, if you need any direction on some of these technical things, bro, hit me up. Let me know.
most definitely.
And if you, I'm gonna throw him in there
I'm,
because I'm pretty sure that's him tuned in. But if you hit up Bright Light too, he's pretty good at this stuff too.
oh yeah, of course.
In terms of
Shout out my turtle brother.
yeah,
Bright light.
Bright Light be hooking me up with some pointers every now and then. So like, hey man, for real. But yo, we're gonna wrap up real quick, dude. I wanna say thank you for one tuning in yesterday, kicking it with your boy, and then of course
Always.
taking the time this evening to kick it with me. Y'all know that I mentioned earlier that we got quite a bit of a lineup coming up. Be sure to follow Hollow Red. That's at Hollow Red, exactly how it is, right there on the screen, both on Instagram as Twitter. He's pretty active on both, as well as Twitch. You're also on Twitch.
Yeah, on Twitch is HollerRed89. So just add the 89 and that's me.
Yeah.
Because honestly, anytime something new pops up, I just jump in it really quick so I can get Holler Red without any numbers. But I was late to Twitch, so somebody had Holler Red. So yeah, it's Holler Red 89. There you go.
Cool. And of course, we got the lineup coming up, man. Next week, Vivid Life apparel. I should actually just talk about that a little bit, just a little bit. I know I'm over time, but a little bit. So, With Love from Atlas is the name of the storyline that inspired the collection for this upcoming year. There's a lot that has changed over the last 2 years of Vivid Life apparel. I will be very honest with y'all and be very vulnerable and say that I was like overwhelmed, not pleased with the product. And
Yeah.
after the rebrand from Tags by Marvel, it was really hard to like pick back up the interest in the apparel. The designs are different. The designs are dope. I'm currently wearing the
Your
Sade.
design. You have some your designs be extra dope, bro. Like if you went into like fashion for real, I think you could have some dope pieces.
This is the I appreciate that, by the way, bro.
It's fire. It's fire.
There's a lot more, and so one of the things that I decided to do, I know that everything is turning into a subscription model. I have always wanted to have like a monthly box that I can send to people.
Oh
I
wow.
think that
Okay.
would just be dope, where you just open a box and it's a brand new shirt. It's some
Hmm.
form of merch. We are moving towards that. I am definitely
Wow.
moving towards that, and that will be kind of a subscription called Vivid Life Apparel Premiere. The
Okay.
packaging is different, even the designs are different. There's a dope USF Bulls jacket that I have that had been in the design phase for the longest. I was supposed to wear it years ago and I did not. But it's got a giant ceramic bull on the chest, and across the bull's eyes it says "We are legends." And on the sleeve it says South Florida, and it's got dude. It's just really dope. So there's a lot of like, you go to Starbucks and you have like the secret recipe, you have the secret menu. I have that, and I'm pretty much dedicating that and kind of like leaving that open for the people who've been rocking with me since Tags by Marvel. Nice. So next week, with love from Atlas, the name of the collection is the Atlas 2024 collection. All of these new designs are going to be coming. You guys have probably seen me wearing some of it already on previous streams, just kind of being real subtle and quiet about it, but that's coming along with Ashley Kane, who is going to be joining me, Tampa Black Historians, and Rebecca Desir on February 21st.
Shout out to sis.
Yes. I've known her. I have known her for a very long time now. My girl is out there doing her thing with the Black Health Commission. We're going to get into some of the conversations with her and get that going. So VividLife TV, slow starts to all things, baby, but the content is here. If you guys want to check out some of the write-ups from our previous interviews, Ron, I'm actually going to drop a write-up for this. I know it wasn't planned, but I think we dropped some good gems. So that'll be available. QR codes right here, alexaugust.com. Check that out. Subscribe. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube and to Twitch. That's Alex August. I am Alex August for more videos and streams just like this. We out of here, baby.